relationships you built and the the people that they are, and you it's hard to say goodbye, especially after an outcome like this, and that's where we're at. I am proud of the fight that we had. Dillon's on the field. There's 20 seconds left. The game is way out of reach, and we're fighting for a yard, and we're able to kind of hold it off and then come off the field excited. And I think that kind of speaks to these guys. I think, from a team perspective, it's a disappointing end to a disappointing season. A lot to be learned for our returners and our younger people. A lot to look at and to try to emulate as well. I think the fight that we just mentioned, and the showing up under tough circumstances, and the never backing down, but the always putting yourself out there. Things like Dillon did tonight, I think, are things that we can build on. With that, take any questions you guys have.
Yes, for Dillon. You want to grab the mic real quick, just so people can hear back there?
Yeah. Dillon, their quarterback, Daniels, he came up with a lot of big plays. What made him so tough to deal with?
Yeah, he's a good player. Ford's a good player, and he's athletic. He can make all the throws and make all the runs, and him and 20 really made their offense run, and we saw that on tape. That wasn't really surprising. Disappointed in the way that we played as defensive players. And that starts with me. I misfit some runs. I should have pulled up the quarterback a couple times, and looking back, you always think of the things that you could have done better, and I don't know. I'm just thankful for the opportunity to step out there tonight one last time with those guys, and hard to say goodbye, as Coach mentioned. I'm going around the locker room before this, hugging every guy, and it's 3 years worth of relationships, and so definitely hard to say goodbye.
Drake Toll from Sports Illustrated's Inside the Bears. For 4 straight losses and Novosad drones, how do you take a tough month and keep it from spiraling?
I appreciate the question. I think it's to focus on things that are right in front of you, things that you can control. I think, I think the morning of, so yesterday morning, right, the morning of signing, I show up, it's early in the morning, and one of our video guys is there, and I'm going to grab a cup of coffee, and I ask him how he's doing, and he goes, I'm kind of not great. And I asked him, what's going on? And he brought up the recruiting part that you mentioned, and I just think, that was a struggle for us, just with the losing and everything else too. It just kind of permeates, and I think the staff meeting we had yesterday morning was, man, look at all the guys that we got. Look at all of the talent that we have, the people that are now going to be a part of Baylor, the families are now be part of Baylor, and how much they wanted to come to Baylor, and people that are just going to make you and me and everyone else so much better. And so I think you have to be intentional about seeing the good and everything that's happening, but then you have to focus on what's right in front of you. And so I think that's a day-to-day, hour-by-hour thing when you're kind of in a storm.
In the back, Dillon, Eric Kelly from Fox 44 Sports in Waco. It may be hard to do right after a loss, but just as well as you can you sum up what being a Baylor Bear has been like for you?
Yeah, I don't know if I can give you a good soundbite right now. I'll take a few weeks here and think about what it really means to me to be a Baylor Bear. But coming down here as a 20-year-old kid, and committing to play for Coach Aranda, and just the program that he's built. I'm really proud to be a part of hopefully what's just starting at Baylor. I mean, I'm super excited for the young guys in the locker room, just looking around, the work that I've seen them put in, and what they'll show in the years to come. I hope I've started something that I'm going to be proud of down the road. I'm super proud of the guys in the locker room right now, and just the whole team. I'm so thankful for the relationships, and that was the biggest thing when I wanted to commit. Was I wanted to commit to a place where I was proud to go back and visit, and I'm going to be proud to go back and visit Baylor. That's for sure. I mean, I'm just so thankful for everybody in Waco, and it's Baylor means the world to me, and just very proud to call myself a Baylor Bear for life.
Dave, oh. Go ahead. Do you have a mic?
65 Sports. Dave, last year at this time, you're preparing for a Sugar Bowl. Best season in Baylor history, a Big 12 championship. Has this program taken advantage of that in any way with the momentum, or have you gone backwards?
I appreciate the question. You know, I think of just as a completely different team last year to this year. And I think a lot of learning for me, I look back now, and I've had some time to do this prior to this question. And, I see the things that, I see some things coming. There's other things I didn't see coming. And that's probably a lack of experience on my part. I think to be real transparent about that only helps you get better. And then, I think the college football world, as it changes with transfer portal and everything else, I think, just my personal, view of that, and that's something here to stay, and how that benefits us. I think all of that, has grown throughout this year, and this year could almost be looked at as a lesson in that. And so I just see us getting better. I think for the guys that are returning, to see the work, despite the not, the work despite the not instant gratification, and to continue to work, they're going to see, they've seen that. And then they're going to see, the adversity and how to handle it. And I think we'll only be better because of it.
Time for one or two more here.
Dave, Parker Ream, Fox 44 in Waco. Obviously, kind of going along with that, right over here. Going along with that, you have kind of new motivation heading into next year, and you guys won't be looked at as necessarily the favorites. What's the next step heading into the offseason, and what do you think you guys need to do to be better prepared for next year?
Appreciate that. Yeah, I think we're still in the midst of recruiting. So there's a couple pretty valued spots that we've got some valued prospects for. And January, there's a limited kind of window there to be able to get some guys to campus and to see if something can work out and all of it. And so we're going to be working on that, and then finalizing our team now in terms of what that team's going to look like for next year. And then I guess the third piece would be the class that we just signed. It was so impressive and so excited about is getting them settled in and really setting standards and expectations on how winter's going to go, so that we can get started off on the right spot. I think all of that's aided with a team that's been through some tough lessons and has seen, one way to do it per Smoke's question, one way to do it and another way to do it. And we all got to get aligned to do it the right way.
Hey, how did you see Blake playing in this game? And how much was he impacted by the elements, do you think?
Appreciate that. Yeah, disappointed just on a whole offensively. I just thought that, the previous games, there was probably more juice and excitement and all of it to play, and just way disappointed and just the lack of that. And I think it really starts with the run game. That is really the identity of our offense, and you could argue our team. And a lot of credit goes to Air Force and just always being where they need to be, and the effort that they played with, and just all of it. But yet, I don't think we held up to our side of the bargain. And then I could see Blake pressing, and it just kind of fell apart from there. So it's just a very bad ending, and disappointed in that. A lot to improve on.
Michael.
Dave, right here. Michael Haig, Baylor Lariat. Before the game yesterday, you said you called this the Who Wants It the Most Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like the focus and the energy was there going into it, or?
Mm-hmm. I felt it, yeah. I bring up I bring up the times that we just talked about 20 seconds left in the game, and guys were fighting for it. I think a couple of series before, there was another one that was similar, where time was kind of, the score and the time was kind of out of it. I think was it the one right before, I want to say, right? And so, yeah, I think all of those are views of just a fight, I think Christian Morgan is a great one. I mean, he made a great play in that. You look at Christian and his journey, and just all the we'll call them learning experiences, and just all of the people that have come to him and have helped him, and the trust that he's gained in people. Man, all that's just so cool. And then to see him at the end of it fight and not be pointing fingers and palms up and any of that. So I saw that there's positive in that.